Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Sigmar Strategies. Today I have something close to the chest. As a destruction player myself, this is going to be an episode about impact models. I see this get used a little incorrectly and people not understanding the timing for abilities such as this. So we're going to be doing this as the Ogre Maltrops player. So here I got a bunch of monster trucks. This also goes for Gargants, although Gargants are, you can only pick a target once, but there's a couple different stacking things you can do there. But we've got lots of different use cases in different armies. Anywhere you have impact models or just charge phase abilities, this is important. So, the concept sits as this. In movement phase, we would move up here in front of these clan rats with all of our stuff. And I've got Kragnos. We would, obviously, when we go to charge phase here, we'd be doing things like moving the zone, making sure we get all of the units in with this. I plan on doing a longer, more in-depth video about Kragnos bubble management, just because it's something I've teched out a lot and something I play all the time. So that'll be a different video. But for here, we're just going to charge in with one of our units. So something I see a bunch of new players do is they'll charge in, and then they'll use the trampling charge ability, or Gargant charge, or whatever. They'll roll for the impact mortals then. If you do that, say here we do 3 mortals, we would take this charge here from a 5-inch charge, right? Say we do 3. We take this from a 5-inch charge to a 6-inch charge, okay? We're lowering the chances of getting that. And then, if we charge in with this Frostwood, now it's almost impossible for us to get this guy through. Whereas if these clan rats are back in this position here, we can get this guy here at the front, and then it's so much easier for us to tag this one in here versus having to go all the way around and being body blocked by our other model. Okay, so here the concept we want to really emphasize is that we're charging in with one, we're not rolling our impact models, because the timing is not a reaction to us charging. The timing is just during the charge phase. Ergo, you can do it whenever you want during the charge phase. So if I, get in all of my monstrous charges here, bring in all these different models, all this stuff, then once we get to this step, right, this is when we're going to start rolling our impact damage. So here, in this example, Kragnos gets to do his impact damage to every unit that has models within an inch. So we would roll with Kragnos first, because if we do damage here, and they can remove, say, 2 models, they will be able to take these 2 off, and then Kragnos doesn't have a model within an inch here. So the timing and the order in which we do this does matter. So here we would go Kragnos first. Then we're kind of picking models, so say they were moving here, in order to keep things within the 1-inch range for the impact. Okay, so as they start pulling stuff, we're basically going to pull or pick to activate the different monsters that are closest to being pulled out of the combat range or the impact model range. I hope that makes sense. So say we go with Kragnos here, we do 4 mortals, okay? They could potentially pull 1, 2, 3, 4 here. So we're still in here. Say they left this guy, he's out of range, they pull this one. This guy's not in. That's okay, because we just did a bunch here. The next closest one to being pulled out of range is probably this guy, because they'd only need to pull 3 here. So we would do the impact with him. Say they do 3 damage, they pull this. Then we'll still be able to do this guy. Okay, hope that makes sense. And then this guy can go whenever in this little priority order. So the important thing to note here with abilities is the timing, because it allows you to find lots of different tech. And there's a bunch of different armies where you have abilities in charge phase and combat phase where this is very important. This is not a reaction. You can do it whenever you want in the charge phase. So you want to do all your charges, get maximum information first, and then you're going to start rolling all that impact damage. Okay? The other thing you can do is be charging in. Say you need to clear some path, clear some models. You could even, in this example, charge in with all your Thunder Tusks, all that stuff, roll for all your impacts, and there's a chance they pull from the front, they pull from the back. There are ways that, you know, on smaller units, they may have to pull things, clearing a path for you to be able to get farther in, so you can get around and do different tricks, that kind of stuff. So just be keeping in mind the timing, whether or not you want them to pull models or don't want them to pull models, because you can choose any part in any time in the charge phase where you can assign all this damage. Okay. If you guys have any questions, please do leave them in the comments. Thank you for all the positive feedback. It's great to hear from you guys. Otherwise, like the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.